Embiid has more points than minutes this year. It's one of my favorite stats of all time.
I've seen more Vanderpump people in these pictures than one person should have to see in a lifetime.
I will never go to a music festival unless I have absolute all-access artist everything.
But unfortunately, sometimes there's just one belle of the ball, and in this particular case, it's Caitlyn.
Best thing about Scottie Scheffler's personality is his beard. I'm happy he grew a beard.
Great read, read it on the toilet.
You're like the negative part of me on fucking steroids.
Whatever, I don't like science.
Well, I know, but Men in Black came out in 1997, I think.
You know who else came out in 1997? Winnie, and she's still going.
I'm not anti-Will Smith. If he hugged me from behind, I'd just be like, hey, bro, handshake will do.
Okay, I have seen that in like Architectural Digest. It's beautiful.
I kind of feel like it's on brand with J Balvin, who like, I don't know what J Balvin, like his thing really is.
It kind of broke my heart. It was like when your kid is the only kid that went to the crappy camp and all of his friends are at the other camp and he wants to be there so bad.
No, well, I don't want to be in Brooklyn.
Oh, such different topics. That's why this show is so great, you know?
From Wondery, I'm Peter Rosenberg.
And I'm Michelle Beadle, and this is Over the Top. Here's how this show works. Best stories of the week, sports and pop culture. They're going to face off, then we crown a champ. We answer one simple question. What's the undisputed most important thing on planet Earth this week? We're going to decide it the only way we know how, using Royal Rumble rules. We start with two stories, decide which one's more worthy to discuss, and which one's got to go. After 90 seconds, a new story will be introduced, and we got to decide whether we want to keep talking about our current story or switch to the new one. So we don't know the order of the stories that are coming our way, but we do decide which ones get thrown over the top rope. Peter, what's first?
All right, here are our first two topics of the day. At UFC 300, Max Halloway defeated Justin Gaethje to win the UFC BMF title. Not a real title.
That's
Seconds away from a clear unanimous decision, Halloway pointed to the center of the octagon and goaded Gaethje to throw hands right up until the buzzer. And then, in perhaps the biggest holy shit moment in UFC history, maybe with 1 second left in the whole damn fight, Halloway dropped Gaethje and won by KO. In the other corner, last week, O.J. Simpson's family announced that he had died of cancer. Now, Beadle, you then tweeted out, today will be an interesting lesson in how we cover death and legacies. Do you want to talk UFC 300?
Damn, dude.
Or OJ?
This is, I mean, I don't ever want to talk about OJ again. He was a filthy, disgusting human being, and he's gone. And that was as long as my eulogy needed to be. And quite frankly, that was a nice one.
I don't know if that's considered a eulogy.
That's a eulogy, ladies and gentlemen who are gathered here. Garbage. You can carry on with your day. Like, and the fact that your family has to sign an NDA on death day, that ain't good. That ain't good. So
I felt the same way. That's not what you want.
That tells me something's up. But I didn't watch the fight. Did you watch the fight? I only saw the bits and pieces.
No, I did not watch UFC 300. So like I saw the highlight of it and it was a crazy highlight in what I knew would be the most exciting match on the card, Halloway and Gaethje. But it's hard for me to, I think there's frankly more for us to say about OJ, given that neither of us watched UFC 300. So.
All right.
I'm sorry, UFC 300, over the top you go. And now, Beadle, you're stuck talking about OJ one last time.
God.
You know, so I had an interesting debate about this. I'm curious your thoughts. Like, Don LaGreca, my co-host on the radio, was like very mad at first because he thought like the initial coverage of OJ's death was like they were covering the passing of some sort of great leader or some.
Yeah, it was.
But to me, it's a blurry line. Was it really that anyone was giving him high praise in covering his death? Or really just, we don't like the reflection of how big a deal OJ is in our society, but it was that big a deal. Like, you can't ignore that part either.
I think for me, the stuff that crept in that pissed me off was when it was a heavy football and sometimes an only football reflection. And yes, Heisman Committee, I am literally staring at all of you. You were what's wrong with how certain things get covered. The fact that you put out a tweet, in memory of O.J. Simpson. That's not what people remember O.J. Simpson for. There might be 3 people on the planet Earth, when I say the words O.J. Simpson, they think football. For the other 6 billion and change, they think a dude who got away with murder. So for me, I just thought, let's be honest if we're going to do this. I'm not a person who romanticizes humans in death. If you sucked in life, you suck in death. It's that simple.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that all the time because I think the standard of sucking varies. But in this case,
well, how about murder? Can we say murder?
Right. But in this specific case, where like a jury did decide that you murdered someone, and also, listen, I don't trust the justice system. Like, it's not like I believe the justice system. However, there were always a couple of things that made me know OJ was guilty, and depending on whether it survives another topic or not, that will be the determining factor.
Well, that's
on whether you get to hear my theory. Oh, yeah, maybe it'll make you want to stick around for one more.
Well, I hope the next topic is, my eyes already saw it. Good luck. Up next, Ipe Mizuhara is facing federal criminal charges for allegedly stealing $16 million from Shohei Ohtani. MLB is set to clear Ohtani of any wrongdoing as soon as the government's investigation is complete. You know, paperwork. Do we want to continue talking about OJ's dead, or do we switch to Ohtani having his name cleared in what, quite frankly, Peter, is the most, here Hollywood, make 8 movies of this now situation I've ever seen?
I personally think I'd rather get to take a stab at this whole OJ thing.
What?
Oh, sorry. Too soon?
No, never too soon. Never. If you did
I don't know. You tell me. You know, maybe you don't care what I have to say. Maybe you have a lot to say about Ohtani.
I'm torn. I'm torn not because of Ohtani, but because of the details that have come out since. And I'm sorry, Peter, the man lost $182 million in bets. He won $142 million in bets, and he was still in the hole $40 million, and he made $80,000 a year in salary. Anybody want to crunch those numbers for me, please?
So what you're suggesting here is that Shohei Ohtani had to know something about what was going on here. This dude making 80 grand couldn't just be throwing around, a couple $100 million in bets.
I'll never fully believe that everyone's 100% innocent, but good job, feds, because you distracted me with the figures. My Lord. But I'm good for whatever. I kind of want to hear your theory. I'm not going to lie.
All right. Well, I think we covered a lot there. So now, very sneaky of us, let's send Shohei Ohtani over the top, and I'll give you my
we cheated.
My OJ theory. So
okay.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with the OJ of it all. You have, of course, the civil trial and the grand jury deciding that he had to pay the Brown and Goldman family. But like every little thing, like I could have gotten behind some sort of conspiracy, except for the whole running in the Bronco thing.
No, weird, huh?
I just don't understand. Now, I know people have recently come up with a lot of good. I mean, these days, people updated their bullshit excusing of OJ. Like, I wish people could just keep it real. The only reason that you could really be happy that OJ got off was because you thought it was white Americans getting a taste of their own justice system. I hear you. That is a reasonable feeling to have had, especially a couple of years removed from Rodney King. I get that. But when people want to start going into no, let's really break down that he was innocent, then I go, we're entering crazy town. Yeah. This one, the most recent one, is his son did it. I also heard Nicole's Coke problem was so bad that they owed the money to a cartel.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And they went to Brentwood. The cartel went to Brentwood.
And they were like, hold on. So this lady was doing so much Coke that it wasn't that she owed Cato's friend Bobby the money. She owed it to the cartel.
Wow, that's a lot.
She was like $500,000 in the hole to the cartel. So none of the stories ever added up. And then you go ahead and write a book called If I Did It.
Great read. Read it on the toilet. Quick read. And he had some, if he did it, I could see him doing it. It's weird. The book really painted a picture for me.
So did he really basically confess to it in the book without confessing?
Yeah, I mean, kind of, yeah. The dude got away with something so big and so egregious and so iconic in our not just pop culture history of this country, but history. And, couldn't help but get cocky and arrogant. I mean, you saw him when he did the thing with the knife to the woman in the interview, and he got away with something, and it became sort of a joke. And you know who's not joking? The families of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson. They never got to joke.
That's the
part. That's the part.
That's the part. I saw an interesting tweet last week from someone I wish I could credit, but I can't remember, about how also it's a real sort of look at how this country views women. That like the death of Nicole Brown was just sort of an afterthought, and then of course Ron Goldman's family. Like it all got turned into a headline. It all got turned into a joke. It all got turned into whatever, and it was real people's lives. Like,
and by the way, you've seen some of the stories that have come out now that he's dead and the NDAs are no longer enforceable, right? Like when he was at USC and things that have been covered up, women who have also been beaten up by him. Yeah, I know. People, they're like, I don't see him beating up. The dude was violent and he had an anger problem. Like, it's not too far-fetched.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, no one had ever heard of CTE then, but that could also be on the table as well. All right. Let's see if OJ can be dethroned. Up next, weekend one of Coachella is in the books. Lana Del Rey.
God. I missed it? Shoot.
Tyler, the Creator, and Doja Cat, all headline.
Okay.
And of course, big, heavy PDA from Lorvis.
Ooh.
They were in the house as well. Do we want to keep talking about OJ? Or do you want to move on to Coachella and Lorvis's big canoodle fest?
Oh, man, such different topics. That's why this show is so great,
Such different topics, and you hate them both, and you hate them both so differently.
For very different reasons, I hate them both. Actually, I wouldn't mind talking a little Coachella, mostly because I don't want to see his face anymore. And secondly, because I am fascinated by what is appealing about Coachella. And mind you, so yes, I will get the hell out of here once and for all. Over the top you go, Orenthal. Are you a music festival dude? Like, I see all the pictures out of Coachella, and most of the people that are celebrities, I don't actually know who they are. I think they're influencers. But it also looks like hell on earth. Tell me I'm wrong. I
actually wanted to go this year.
What?
I've never been.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? Before it's too late and just not reasonable to try to go. My wife had been previously.
When would that be?
Children, things of that nature. It's going to get. It's going to get hard. But by the way, it's already hard because the dog coverage alone makes it a serious commitment. So
Amen.
We considered going because I love Tyler and I knew I could go with a pretty good situation. So let me just get the snobbiness out of the way.
Go.
I will never go to a music festival unless I have absolute all access artist everything.
That's fair. That makes sense. Why would you?
I've done it before. I went to Bonnaroo once and slept in a car. It's never happening again.
No, why?
But is there an appeal? So let me answer your question. Is there any appeal if you could get the best tickets possible to having a little house in Palm Springs and checking out the concert each day? I think yes. I would enjoy that. You're shaking your head because you are a judgmental what.
I would rather do literally anything else on the planet. The dust, the crowds, the ridiculousness, this whole outfit thing that we got, these influencers that have run amok. I see more Vanderpump people in these pictures than one person should have to see in a lifetime. So no, absolutely not.
Beadle, you are you're the negative part of me on fucking steroids. It's insane.
I'll take it.
I have an inclination to all the things, and on my show in the morning, I'm the you. I shoot down everything. But I still have some things. I'm everything that I would be a little bit fun on, you are the devil on my shoulder to just trample it and be like, no, we will not do that. It is only the douchiest version of it. But I live on the East Coast. I love Palm Springs. It would, to me, seem nice. Would I go there all day, every day? No. Would I go regular tickets where I'm stuck camping and walking through crowds? No. But if I had a really good, you get dropped off backstage, you sip drinks, and then you go, oh my God, look what Kendall Jenner's wearing. I could do that.
By the way, I highly recommend Palm Springs any other weekend. Truly. Love
Just
it.
Not that way. It's a great place.
It's a 2-hour drive from where I'm sitting right now. I absolutely love it. But no, not when the posers are out in full effect. Up next, it's a huge week for Ms. Caitlin Clark. Made an appearance on SNL's Weekend Update. Meanwhile, oh God, Her SNL cameo did not sit well with one longtime U.S. politician. Nina Turner, who served in the Ohio State Senate, called out the move on social media, writing, "When does South Carolina get an SNL spot?" She wrote. I mean, all right. We can continue talking about Coachella or switch to Caitlin Clark on SNL. Well played.
This is tough. I didn't see Caitlin on Weekend Update yet.
Mm-hmm.
Though the South Carolina thing is freaking crazy. So
way to get your name in the news. Well done.
Oh gosh, it's tough. I do think there's more.
Really?
You know what? Let's throw Coachella over the top.
Okay, good.
Let's move on, right? I think we've all had enough Coachella for 1 year. Am I right?
Isn't there another weekend of it anyways? Like something could happen.
Yeah, until next week, that is. So Caitlin Clark on SNL.
Mm-hmm.
How'd she do? Did you see it?
I did see it. It was a cool idea. Look, she's not a joke teller. She's not even a professional speaker. She's going to get better at it. For all of that, though, considering what she did and how she delivered, not a bad job. They basically set Michael Che up because, he has spent many, many, many jokes on mocking women's sports. So it was a cool little turn to have her show up and kind of school him a bit. Look, it's a not even a bucket list moment. Most people would not be delusional enough to think they could include sitting in on an SNL sketch as a bucket list item. So Well played by her. I don't know that, South Carolina needs to be dragged into it. I get what you're saying, Nina. You want them to get the same kind of love, but unfortunately, sometimes there's just one belle of the ball. And in this particular case, it's Caitlin. Sorry.
Okay, here's what I'll give you, South Carolina. Here's what you've already received courtesy of Caitlin. More eyeballs on your championship game than ever before in history.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's pretty cool. And with all due respect, it's not because of Dawn Staley, and it's not because South Carolina is a great basketball team. It is mostly because of Caitlin Clark. So maybe take the rub that she gave you from getting to play against her and let her just continue to do what she's doing. Because what is it? High something rise all
something
tides.
Tides and rises. And
high
stuff.
Tides rise.
Ships go
when
higher.
Boats loose lips sink ships. You get the idea.
I think it's that. Loose lips sink ships. Nina Turner. That's what.
So just give Caitlin her love, man. She did enough already. Okay.
Yeah. There. Moving on.
Up next. Well, it seems like Tiger Woods gave up sex to prepare for the Masters for no reason after recording his worst Masters performance ever. Meanwhile, Scottie Scheffler won his second green jacket in 3 years, becoming the fourth youngest player to win 2. Let's just toss out Caitlin Clark on SNL because I have some things to tell you about the Masters this year, okay? Over the top you go, Caitlin. Let's talk Masters. Okay, bad weekend for Tiger. You're going to make fun of me. I actually was happy he finished. I kind of thought he maybe wouldn't finish the tournament.
I'm not mad. I think a lot of us were in that predicament.
And especially once he started playing like absolute cow dung, you're just like, okay, now he's going to quit. And he didn't. He played it out. So good for him. I really wish though that he would just take the medical exemption and ride in a cart. Like I know he can't do it because his ego and pride wouldn't let him. But if all Tiger had to do was still hit the golf ball, I really think he'd be competitive. But you watch him walk after 5 holes, and you're like, this dude just can't. It's like watching me walk a golf course.
That's such a shame.
You don't want to see me walking on a golf course because I'm going to be complaining after 5 holes.
No, I do actually want to see that now, quite frankly.
Carrying my own bag, too.
Yes.
That's really what you want to see. Me crying by 6,
in a very
leaving by 8.
Place.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. So anyways, whatever. I knew Tiger wouldn't be great this weekend, but at least he finished. But here's the problem. Scottie Scheffler is becoming one of the best golfers of the modern era. He's doing special things, and the level to which he dominates is crazy. The fact that he has no personality whatsoever is not great for golf, though. I mean, here's what I can say positive.
Without personality, kill the press.
I know, but everyone's like, why are you golf people still so obsessed with Tiger? And it's because no one's come along who's both good and interesting.
Well, hold on. In fairness, Tiger didn't have that great of a personality either. He was quite the nerd, honestly. But it was
100%.
He was flashy and he was a shark. That's what it was. On the course, maybe, but he sucked for an interview. I thought he was boring as an interview. I think they all are.
So back in the day, there's no question Tiger was a boring interview and he didn't have a ton of personality. But you cannot ignore the fact we can't change history. Tiger's demographics alone as a dominant golf player were fascinating.
Yep.
So it drew all of us in. You're like, a black guy who's awesome at golf? I'm into this. I want to see him play. Then he has the red shirt on Sundays. Then he's pumping the fist and being dominant. It wasn't a great personality, but it was something.
It was flashy, very flashy.
The best thing about Scottie Scheffler's personality is his beard. I'm happy he grew a beard. It was a step in the right direction. But my man, you just hit one of the craziest shots I've seen in years. Can I get a fist pump?
No.
Can I get a smile?
Mm-mm.
Can I get a hug with the caddy?
No.
Can I get something, sir?
Can I
Please.
also say that he looks like maybe 3 to 4 other golfers that were playing in the Masters, and therefore it was very confusing at times when I would walk by the TV, and I was like, is that, or is that, who is that? Okay, it's him. There's like 4 dudes that look like Scottie Scheffler.
I was just confused that there was a guy named Aberg who above the A had a little mini circle, and I literally did not know how to pronounce his name. I thought it was Aberg.
I am so proud of you right now for learning things at this age. See? Old dog, new tricks. It's happening right before your very eyes.
Thank you.
We're halfway through the show. Right now, the most important topic of the day is Scottie Scheffler? Question mark? Does it sound right? We'll be back. Welcome back to Over the Top. Something better beat Scottie Scheffler. Peter, what's next?
I don't know if you can't beat Scheffler. You can just
I'm
hope to contain
already
him.
throwing him over the top, by the way. I don't even care. If this next topic is just blank staring into a camera, I'm still throwing Scottie Scheffler over the top.
Well, good news for you. It's NBA. Up next, the Clippers have a promotion that gives all fans inside the arena a free Chick-fil-A sandwich if a visiting player misses 2 consecutive free throws in the fourth quarter of a game. In the final moments of the Rockets-Clippers season finale, with the Rockets holding a sizable lead, Houston center Boban Marjanovic.
How dare you?
Boban Marjanovic intentionally, can I just call him Boban? Isn't he Madonna levels at this point?
Yes.
Boban Marjanovic intentionally missed his second free throw to make sure the Clippers fans got their sandwich. He even celebrated with them after he missed. Do we want to talk about Scottie Scheffler or you want to talk about Boban?
Are you serious? Why are you wasting 10 seconds to find out the answer? Yeah, Scottie, over the top, please, by all means. And look, he's smiling in the picture that we're showing, Peter. See, he does.
There you go. That's
emotions.
Personality.
Boban is, I'm going to find, he's one of my favorite players of all time. It doesn't matter what team he's playing for. When I see him, it's just a giant hug that is abnormal, because when in life do you ever get to stand next to a person this large? But he didn't just intentionally miss it. He looked around the arena from the free throw line and mouthed the words, "I got you. I got you."
I didn't see that. That is rich.
It was, now all I could think about was at that point it was a blowout, so there couldn't have been, I mean, I'm sure there was some gambling ramification from it somewhere in the world, but who cares? Free sandwiches, people get completely out of their minds for it. So Boban once again proving he gets it.
Give me 3 of his 6 NBA teams.
Houston, Spurs, Dallas. Literally all 3 Texas teams.
You're absolutely right. If you're paying attention at home, kids, and want to write it down, San Antonio, Detroit, the Clippers, Philadelphia, Dallas, and Houston.
And by the way, a locker room favorite, no matter where he goes.
I believe it too. Look at him. How could he not be?
His hands are bigger than our screens.
Now, do you love Chick-fil-A? I see you leaning towards, you think it's overrated, don't you?
I actually don't eat Chick-fil-A. I'm not a big fan of companies who tell me their political leanings. I'm good.
Could you be any more predictably you?
I just don't eat Chick-fil-A. I mean, it's like, why? I don't care. Make me a sandwich. Literally, make me a sandwich. I don't need to know where you stay. That's not where my money goes. And by the way, I silently do it. America, that's what we're built on.
I mean, by the way, I guarantee you, I could name other companies where you and I agree with the things that they do, and you go, this is delicious.
Oh, up next. Oh, God, you can't go away. Conor McGregor's return to the octagon. is officially official. The UFC announced his return during the UFC 300 post-fight press conference. He's going to fight Michael Chandler. That'll happen at UFC 303 in New Jersey.
There we go.
June 29th. That'll be his first fight since 2021. And that was when he broke his own leg, by the way, against Dustin Poirier. By the way, I'm wondering if being in Roadhouse and looking like a crazy man, that's what made him decide he still got it. So do we want to continue talking about Boban, or switch to McGregor?
Boban. No, love Boban, and it'd be hard to get him over the top, but over the top you go, you big crazed looking freak. And I say that with all due respect.
Same.
He's not going to win. McGregor can't beat Michael Chandler at this stage. No, I think you're going to be happy because we know you want to see Conor McGregor get punched in the face.
Sure.
And I think that's exactly what's going to happen when he takes on Michael Chandler. But the bonus for you, Beadle, is not only do you get to see Conor McGregor, who we all just think is wonderful, you know there's no chance Donald Trump's not going to be there because he literally goes to every single UFC event at this point.
Yeah, those are like pep rallies for him. So, I mean, he's a smart man. Yeah, and it's in Jersey, which...
Oh, boy, so many different boxes being checked.
Unless he's otherwise taken doing something else, yes, he probably will be there. And it's funny because we showed a graphic of Conor McGregor at like an earlier fight in his life, and he looks so small in that photo compared to how jacked he looked in Roadhouse. So I'll be curious to see what version of Conor McGregor
It will not be Roadhouse.
He's terrifying. And by the way, did you see it? Did you watch it?
Hold on.
Yeah, you watched it first. I went back and watched. You're right.
I watched it, and you scolded me for watching it, and then you watched it and liked it.
I did. I went back and gave it a real chance and actually loved the fight scenes very, very much.
I told you. It was really good.
It was very
I went to go see a movie, though, in the theater last week. I don't want to mention what because I don't want to diss the movie. But it was like a heavy fighting movie. It's so funny. In theaters, like, it just does nothing for me. Like, it's so strange. You'd think because I love wrestling, like, I'd love a good fight movie.
Yeah,
but, like, I don't.
Well, it has to be done right, too, right?
Yeah. You know what it was about Roadhouse? It, like, played into, like, wrestling. It was a wrestling match. Like, it was bad guy, good guy, really obvious bad guys that you wanted to see lose.
Too. Like, they had a lot of long, drawn-out, bloody fights. I think that was part of it.
I got good news for you. Coachella is back.
No!
Yeah. More on Coachella. It wasn't all Lorvis PDA. There was also music, including, how about this? J Balvin surprising the crowd with a live performance of Men in Black featuring Will Smith in full character.
What?
I'm sorry, Conor McGregor. You're going over the top. Beadle, we have to talk about what on earth J Balvin was thinking.
What do you mean?
Why?
Was Frank the Pug there? Because then I'm in.
The pug from the movie?
Yeah, the only Frank the Pug I know. Sure.
Well, I think we're going to have to give Beadle some news now.
I don't want to hear it. Don't say Winnie's right here. Don't say anything.
Well, I know, but Men in Black came out in 1997, I think.
You know who else came out in 1997? Winnie, and she's still going.
Look at Winnie the Pug, still going. How old is Winnie these days?
She's 17, just like Frank, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Just like he would have been in 2014.
Whatever, I don't like science.
Okay,
so he's in full Men in Black. Okay.
Here's the thing.
I like it.
I'm not anti Will Smith, and I'm not anti Will Smith raps. Like, I'm down to hear parents just don't. Well, I'd rather hear Brand New Funk or Summertime. He has a few songs I'd like to hear.
Okay,
maybe I could see Beadle getting excited if he played Boom Shake the Room. Who knows? But here's what I don't need. I don't need Men in Black live in concert.
This is a weird one.
I just don't. I suppose it would be what an interesting weekend for the Smiths. The one video that was completely viral was Jaden Smith and Justin Bieber practically making out when they saw each other.
I saw them making out. That's what I saw. Maybe I interpreted it differently.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I totally get being comfortable with who you are and what's up. Like, no doubt, bruh. But, like, there's no world in which I haven't seen our producer, Andrew Goldstein, in a while. And he comes up from, if he hugged me from behind, I'd just be like, hey, bro, handshake will do. Maybe a little dap, front hug. I'm all with the front hug. No problem.
Yep. Interesting.
There's exactly one person in my life who's allowed to hug me from behind. It is my wife.
Oh, fair.
That is it.
I didn't know where you're going.
Where did you think I was going?
I wasn't sure, and I just wanted to be along for the ride.
Okay, you never know.
It is weird. They could have picked a lot of Will Smith songs. Not sure what is. Is there another Men in Black coming out? That's happening, isn't it?
I think that is. I think that may be happening.
But why would J Balvin care unless he's like the soundtrack?
Why would J Balvin? But like, I kind of feel like it's on brand with J Balvin, who like I don't know what J Balvin like his thing really is.
I wouldn't know if a J Balvin walked in right now. So look at me.
No, you wouldn't recognize a J Balvin?
The
thing is, I would recognize J Balvin. I just don't know exactly like. I don't know how much of an artist he is. Like,
does J Balvin? Wait a minute. Does J Balvin have a home in, I want to say, Colombia?
I think so.
Okay, I have seen that in like Architectural Digest. It's beautiful.
I'm sure
like it's fashioned after like Asian vibes. It's beautiful. It's all wood. It's fascinating. I think that was him. That's all I know about J Balvin.
That was deep. I think we covered a lot of ground here.
Too much, actually. Up next, the NBA playoffs are set. The Knicks and Thunder. Talk of the seedings. The Knicks finish as the 2 seed in the East for the first time since 2012. And OKC, the number 1 seed in the West. Youngest team ever to clinch a 1 seed in history. Do we continue to talk about Will Smith and J Balvin in Coachella or switch it over to the NBA playoffs? Sir.
I think we've done as much as we can do with the Men in Black. Not a big fan of Men in Black. I love that Biz Markie was in Men in Black. That's dope.
Okay, that's fine.
And the soundtrack actually did have a few good songs. It's just that the song Men in Black wasn't one of them.
The first time I saw it, I was like, that's cute and fun and entertaining. What else?
Let's talk NBA playoff situation. I mean, Beadle, I'm here in New York. I got to tell you, 50-win Knicks season, like it's kind of exciting times.
The most exciting times. Now, are you, because obviously a lot of people, like the Cleveland Cavaliers sat basically everyone, which then gives them a bit of a quote unquote easier road. And the Knicks do not have an easy road ahead of them. They will play basically a Miami or a Philly. 2 teams that nobody, I think, wants to play. So I know everyone keeps talking about, why didn't you just let DeMar DeRozan score? Why did you have to take it to overtime and win the game? What is your problem? But I think part of the reason why this Knicks team is so lovable, Peter, is that there's no world in which they're mailing it in. Let's start with Tibbs. In no alternate universe is that man sitting anybody. If you can play, you're going to be out there. Matter of fact, you might be out there for 50 minutes like Dante DiVincenzo. Secondly, the team itself. There's more hustle and heart on this one team than several NBA teams combined. So, I think their path will be hard, but I got to be honest, I'm feeling kind of positive about it. And that scares me because usually when I feel positive, bad things happen.
Did you say hustle and heart? Like hustle and Josh Hart? For those of you listening, I put my glasses on and made a nerd face.
Yeah, like David Caruso in a CSI episode. Nailed it.
Listen, I know it's been talked about a lot, but I almost feel like as much has been talked about, it's not talked about enough. The fact that these dudes are like so bonded together, like it's just a real thing. I'm telling you right now, if the Knicks can make a move for anyone, I think I make it for Bridges in the offseason to just keep going with this Villanova vibe. It is just working.
I know. Did you see when they played Brooklyn last week? And like afterwards, Mikel's just hanging out with all his boys. And it was like, it kind of broke my heart. It was like when your kid is the only kid that went to the crappy camp and all of his friends are at the other camp and he wants to be there so bad.
That's such a perfect way of putting the Nets. They are the crappy camp.
I know. My heart broke.
Aw. No, I don't want to be in Brooklyn.
No, don't make me go back.
All right, up next, here we go. Shocker.
No.
Last week, Tom Brady teased an NFL comeback. But not in the way you would think. He said he would consider joining a team for a playoff push if they had a quarterback emergency.
Oh, well, that's nice. What a hero.
Do you want to talk about the NBA playoffs still or move on to Tom Brady?
I mean, there's a part of me that's kind of curious what you think about Tom Brady because you have a football team. And let's say the Commanders found themselves in a position, an emergency, as he so weirdly called it. Would you be stoked to have a 47, 48-year-old Tom Brady show up?
Listen, it would be a fascinating thing if it happened. I think no matter how much you love or hate Tom Brady, you'd be curious if he came back and played again. But at the same time, I'm tired of Tom Brady just randomly saying things. We all have to report on it. There's so many other teams to talk about in the NBA. I say we keep going NBA and chuck old Tom over the top.
Bye.
Thank you. I mean, come on. We have such a great play-in. First of all,
we do.
The Heat-Sixer play-in situation is fascinating because when Joel Embiid plays, this team is very good. And assuming he's actually healthy, obviously there was that scare the other night. He left the game and grabbed his knee. But assuming he's okay and plays, That Philly team is scary, and Miami's scary. And by the way, quietly, LeBron James and the Lakers, they're not just in the playing game. I mean, they're 12 games over 500. Like, this is a pretty good basketball team. By the way, I love that we're back to the old days of the East just stinks relative to the West.
You think see, I don't think it stinks because I don't buy Boston either though, despite their weird large gap. And there's something about them. Maybe they'll do it this year, and I'll eat.
Well, I know, and
pro?
listen,
That doesn't sound right.
I'm a Celtics fan, and yet I understand what you're talking about. You need them to show you in the playoffs. Like, show Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, show me you guys are the guys when it matters. It's a totally fair thing to say. Just looking at the bottom of each conference in terms of the play-in game, the Bulls made the play-in in the East. They're like 10 games under 500. The worst team in the West, the 10 seed, is 10 games over 500. It's just, and by the way, even at the top, I'm sorry, the top of the West is completely stacked. OKC, Denver, Minnesota. Really, it's the Celtics and then the Knicks, who are like a great upstart story. But like, no one sees the Knicks yet as a dominant team. They're like a really great upstart, maybe they can go for it kind of team. Yep. But the top of the West is dangerous. The bottom of the West is more dangerous. I'm sorry, I think the West is back in a big way.
Well, hold that thought, because up next, with the reigning league MVP, Joel Embiid, back sort of healthy.
Didn't we do enough on Joel Embiid?
No, because the Sixers have won 8 straight. They closed out the season that way, and like you mentioned, probably might be the scariest team as we head into this thing. However, they got to beat Miami in the play-in for the chance to play the aforementioned 2-seeded Knicks. So, yeah, we don't have to keep talking about the playoffs themselves. We can talk just the East. I don't care. It's NBA either way. We win.
Okay, so I thought I read over our topics. And I missed that.
You did?
I thought I did. And I joked before we got on the air. I was like, oh, what number's Embiid? Making fun of our producer Goldstein, who I think has somehow they have snuck a Sixers story onto the list for Over the Top. What percentage of the episodes that we've done have had a Sixers story?
All of 100%.
And in your regular life, how much do people talk to you about the Sixers?
In my real life, 0 times. In my professional, it's part of the deal, but it's even. It's even with all the other scariest seeds, like the Lakers and the Warriors and Miami.
You know what? You know what we're gonna do? Just for Andrew Goldstein, who's been fighting for them all year long. Throw the NBA playoffs over the top and give me Joel Embiid and the Sixers.
Are you insane?
I mean, this guy. How about this? Beadle, Embiid has more points than minutes this year. It's one of my favorite stats of all time.
More points than minutes. That's actually a very cool stat. I don't know what to do with it, but I like it.
I don't know what to do with it either, but it's better than the ones you give me every week for Wemby. Did you know that? Hold on, glasses again. Hold on. Here's Beadle every week.
Where are my glasses? They're over there.
Did you know that Wemby is the first player to record more than 23 points, more than 12 rebounds, more than 5 assists, less than 2 rebounds, and more than 1 steal in a regular season game? Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you don't like greatness and amazing basketball. That's just something I care for. And
made up statistics.
These are not made up. This is ridiculous. Okay. This is bias, if there ever was one. Literally, there are, I don't know, 5 or 6 teams that are also scary because we don't know what to expect. And we're sitting here with the topic bar of NBA's scariest seed.
Well, exactly. That's what makes this foolish because, listen, don't get me wrong. The Sixers are a good team.
Absolutely.
Are they scarier as a play-in than the Lakers, who are 12 games over 500? I don't know.
I don't know. The Warriors that could do some damage?
Warriors are 10 games over 500. By the way, Miami's Miami. And there's a situation in what's going to happen in the East is those last 2 they're not getting in. It's going to end up being both the Sixers and the Heat are going to get into the playoffs. And that's not what anybody wants.
It's like 2 Bulls are being released into a China shop. That is the Eastern Conference. And that sucks for the Eastern Conference.
But when you say 2 Bulls, you don't mean the Chicago Bulls.
No, nobody. So much so, Peter, that there was a moment earlier today in my other job where I 100% could not remember that the Bulls were the other team. The Hawks and then 30 seconds of silence. My brain was a dark void. I had nothing in it. Nothing.
Well, speaking of which, guess what?
No.
That's 90 seconds.
No.
Which means we've come to a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the new undisputed most important thing on planet Earth this week is, wait for it, Joel Embiid in the 76 home. I got to tell you, in our post-show meeting, Goldstein might not be wearing clothes. This is going to be a visible level of excitement.
I don't want to see a visible level of excitement. That is inappropriate. And if we have HR, I'd like to go ahead and get them on the line.
Now, for the record, I'd also like to say this may balance out the unfair negativity around the miniature Allen Iverson statue because it was so unfair. You know what should never be reviewed on social media again?
What?
Statues. All they do is get killed. If you have a statue you're unveiling, don't allow anyone to post a picture of it.
No.
They never get praised.
But worse was it was a video. So we were getting his reaction, AI's reaction in real time. You should have done a video as you just walk down that lane showing all of the statues, ending on his statue so that we had some context.
Exactly, but they didn't do that. So it was more like this. Now we would like to commemorate this podcast by giving Beadle her very own world championship belt.
Oh, yay!
Here you go, Beadle.
God, it's beautiful. It's
you're
beautiful.
gonna really, really like this. It's so nice. It's about twice the size of a normal ring, but you need to have the context. With the context, you see the other ones. You go, oh, even Dr. J is small.
Exactly. They do it different.
Now.
They do it differently in Philly. That's the thing.
That's what they mean. By the way, I had Angelo's. I had, oh boy, did I have a steak and cheese, a cheesesteak. It was, do you need
well, I'm glad the show's over. I feel like you need to be alone now.
No, Beadle, it was something. That's it for us. Tune in next week to determine actually, you know what? Goldstein's the reason I got the cheesesteak, which is why I let Embiid win. It's always an inside job with the media.
God, this is
Tune in next week to determine the only thing you need to care about and what goes over the top.